love baking things from scratch, and I got to test our IGA's Black and Gold range and make a few snacks for the week. Let's check out what I made and how I did it. First is 4-ingredient Milo ice cream. I'd halved the original recipe I saw ages ago online. So I've got 300 mils of cream and I'm whipping that up until it's double in size. Just some soft peaks is fine. And into a bowl, a half a cup of Milo and a quarter cup of milk to make a slurry. Give it a really good mix around. You will be tempted to have a taste. You can have some after you've poured the majority into the bowl. Or you have to also film some content for TikTok. After it has doubled in size with the cream, you're going to put in half a can of condensed milk and then just lightly stir that through because you don't want to knock too much of the air out. And then you're also going to mix in there the Milo slurry mixture and then pour it into a dish and put it into the freezer overnight. When I put it into my dish, I decided to use a ceramic dish because I thought I was interested to see actually how it would freeze compared with the metal tins that I normally do. And I put a piece of Glad wrap over the top of it just to not have it have that skim when it freezes in the freezer overnight. In the morning I removed the cling wrap and it is quite hard, so I actually let it sit on the bench for a good 5 minutes just to soften up a little bit, and I sprinkled some Milo over the top of it. It didn't seem to be melting around the sides like a traditional ice cream did, so yeah, I was really happy with it and the look of it. And as you can see here, it scoops up really easily as well. The consistency was really good as well. You can definitely tell it's a cream based ice cream, but for 4 ingredients, it was a nice little treat. Next up are vanilla cupcakes. These will make 12 cupcakes. The mixture is very deceiving. It looks like you're not going to make it, but you will. So into the bowl, put your butter and your sugar and give it a really good mix around. This is called creaming, and you want to give it a mix for a good 5 minutes. I stop and scrape down the bowl every now and again because sometimes my mix master is missing some of it. So I just want to make sure that it all gets incorporated. Then mixing through, I will do the eggs one at a time and I will mix in between each one of those as well. And then I added in the vanilla and the milk and make sure that was well mixed through. And then I added in the flour. And when I do the flour, I do 1 tablespoon at a time just because I want to make sure that it all gets mixed through. I don't just dump it all in one batch. I don't know what the thing is about air at this point in time, but it does say that you can mix it. You don't have to be folding the flour through, so not quite as gentle. And then again, I use my ice cream scoop to scoop out into the 12 patty pans. And as I said, it always feels like you're gonna run out, but you don't, you will make it. I bake them in the oven, and then when you bring them out, just to show you, these are a little bit overcooked, but you can see how they've cooked flat. There's no domes to the top, so I really love that about this recipe. Then to ice, it is just another guesstimate. So I did 4 heaped tablespoons of icing sugar, and I did 2 tablespoons of milk and just gave it a really good mix through. Put in my dental nurse skills to mix it around in the bowl to get a really good consistency, bringing back that muscle memory. And then to ice the cupcakes, I just get a knife, whip the icing mixture on it, and then dump the cupcakes in the sprinkles. This is how I grew up icing cupcakes, none of that fancy buttercream whip thing. And these cupcakes are pretty much gone by the next day anyway, so it doesn't matter how you want to ice or decorate them, you do you. Next up are our mini chocolate chip cookies. It is basically just the 100 cookie recipe, but it's halved because originally when I started this, I was showing you how I was using the products. So we used half the condensed milk in the ice cream and now we're using the other half in the cookies, etc, etc. But after a baking disaster, which I fully admitted to in the homemaking video, things did not go to plan, and so it was good for my family. They had the leftovers, they were very happy, so they don't mind baking disasters. So technically all I did in here was 250 grams of butter and then half a can of condensed milk, a quarter cup of sugar, gave it a really good mix for 5 minutes, so I had this really beautiful light air and fluffy base to it. And then I put in 2.5 cups of plain flour. Now I saw someone online say they've only ever used self-raising flour when they've made these cookies. That could be what the original recipe is. I've probably just written flour one day when I've written it down, and that stuck in my head. So I am going to make them again one day with self-raising flour and see how we go. Don't forget, it's very important to dump flour on your bench if you miss the bowl. That's part of the baking process. Just give everything a really good mix. I do mix in between each cup as well. And then I did half a packet of the chocolate chips. They were tiny. I really love these little chocolate chips. You seem to get a lot per cookie, which was really good. So, and then have a little taste test, that's obligation. And then I just do about a teaspoon. The mixture is pretty soft, it rolls up easily, and then just put them onto a tray, and then I just flatten them out with the palm of my hand and then into the oven. They cook for about 8 to 10 minutes, just depends what kind of cookie that you like. So there are 3 really simple things that I have made from scratch that are pretty much a family favorite, go to every time. If you make them, please let me know. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like more recipes like this, please let me know down below, because I would be more than happy, and my family would be more than happy for me to have more homemade goodies here. Thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.